guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be filming my TBR for the month of July. Now, I'm about little over 2 weeks into June. So I actually have a few books left from June that I'm going to include into July. But I'm still gonna go through my usuals. So I'm gonna be picking 10 books and I'm going to be doing a mix of books on my physical TBR, audio books that I have saved, and ebooks. So I'm thinking for this upcoming month, I'm still gonna do just one ebook. I'm probably going to do 4 audiobooks, maybe 3 audiobooks and 6 physical books. So yeah, with that said, let's just get into it. Now, this is my jar of TBR prompts. For those of you who don't know, they're color coordinated based on genre for the most part. So in case I'm feeling a certain genre, I can pick that prompt that has, or pick that card that has prompts that work better with that certain genre. So blue is for fantasy and sci-fi, green is for horror, thrillers, and mysteries, pink is for romance, contemporaries, and then yellow is kind of a free-for-all. I think I'm gonna start with the blue one because I've been in a fantasy mood. Ooh, okay. This first one says, a book with a magical creature. A book with a magical creature. Now, I definitely know I need to get these 2 out of the way. And I know there are magical creatures in Crescent City House of Sky and Breath. I almost said Earth and Blood. So this is in my TBR, or this is in my TBR for this month, June. But I really doubt that I'm gonna have it done by the end of the month. I've been having a bit of a slow reading month, unfortunately. So I'm going to keep this on my TBR for July. First book down, House of Sky and Breath. Let's pick another one. Wow, very similar to the first one. Oh, did I even say what House of Sky and Breath is about? So I definitely know that House of Sky and Breath has magical creatures because this is a high fantasy book set in a different world. This is the second book in the Crescent series, City by Sarah J. Maas. And it follows this half-fae, half-human woman named Bryce who lives in this fictional magical city. I can't really say too much because this is the second book, but basically in the first book, Bryce goes through this tragedy early on in the book, and years later she is working through that trauma but also trying to find out what happened. I'm really enjoying it because it is a bit of a slow burn romance. I love this new world that Sarah J. Maas created. I feel like it is pretty different from her other 2 books because I read Throne of Glass and A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I feel like this as her first adult fantasy series is better. I'm liking how she's putting more into the world building and the character development. So definitely excited about this series. Anyway, going back to my second prompt. So the second prompt says, has another species in the story. Has another species in the story? So this whole top row is what I currently have on my physical TBR for fantasy and sci-fi. Oh, but I do have an ebook. Yep, I know exactly what I'm going to read. So I plan to read Sega book 2 this month, by the end of this month. So once July comes around, I can get into book 3. So Sega book 3, the deluxe edition, which is kind of like a bind up of multiple volumes. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna want to continue on with this series. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Sega book 3. And I know, so this story, so Sega's following this couple who come from like different sides of this intergalactic war, and they fall in love and run away together and end up having a child. And now this child is like a symbol of, for some reason, both sides don't want the general public to find out that these soldiers from opposing sides have come together. It's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet thing. And this child is like evidence of their union. So they're trying to hunt down this family. You know, obviously being from multiple different worlds, there's different species on here. Actually, I don't even know what species they are. Like some of them are like Some have wings, some of them look like goats. Like there's a bunch of strange creatures in this story. So I'm really excited to continue on with that. And now I have 2 fantasies. So I have, Sega's actually a graphic novel. So I don't know if I'm gonna add another ebook onto this. I think I'd rather just read that and then focus on my physical TBR. This is a new one that I just put in. So it says a spooky book. If I were to say spooky, I'm not like just, I feel like spooky has to do with like either paranormal, ghosts, or something like that. So I'd probably either go with House of Leaves, How to Sell a Haunted House, or Imaginary Friend. Now, Imaginary Friend was a book that I recently put on my Try a Chapter vlog because this book has been on my TBR for a long time and I haven't read it. And I really like the first chapter, but it is a chunker and I have 2 other chunkers on my list already. So I think I'm going to go with How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Now this, I heard a lot of great things about this from Haley Hughes, and I feel like this book has been pretty like popular since it was released earlier this year. Okay, so this book is about 2 siblings. Their parents have passed away and they both have to return to their childhood home to put the house up for sale. But their parents had some very interesting, kind of creepy hobbies. I think the dad was into puppets or dolls or something, or maybe it's the mom was into dolls. So this house is full of either creepy puppets, or creepy dolls. The synopsis basically says that the house doesn't want to be sold. So I'm not too sure what that means, like whether it's in their head or if this house is actually haunted. So it'll be interesting to find out about that. And I'm glad I'm able to squeeze this book into my TBR. It's one of the recent books that I purchased like a couple months ago. So it says, finish a series. I got 2 options. I could either do As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I think it's the final book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Or I could go with Orange, which is, I don't know if it's the most recent or the last book in the Orange manga series. What do I want to do? I don't have As Good as Dead right now. I'd have to purchase it. So I think I'm gonna go with Orange. So, should probably talk about what it's about. There's actually 2 bind-ups for the, there's 2 bind-ups, a kind of like novella that's a prologue or an epilogue to the original 2 bind-ups, and then this is another add-on to it, I guess. Oh, it says it's a crossover short story. So this series is about this teenage high school girl named Naho who receives a letter from her future self. I guess this kind of could be considered sci-fi because there's like timey-wimey stuff going on. But anyway, Naho receives a letter from her future self warning her to save one of her classmates who is at risk of dying. I guess I'll see how this one goes. I didn't even know this came out. I think I was just scrolling through Amazon and it was recommended to me. So definitely glad that I got that so I can stay like complete. So this one says, has a movie, TV show, or game adaptation. Got a lot of options for that, I think. So, okay, obviously The Witcher, Lord of the Rings, obviously. Now, House of Many Ways itself doesn't have an adaptation, but it's the book before it does. Not really. Well, Peter Pan has multiple adaptations, but not this particular story, so I'm not gonna count it. Oh, Reflection, obviously Mulan. Sherlock Holmes has an adaptation. You know what? Because I also have the audiobook, I think I'm gonna go with The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So this was also in my Try a Chapter vlog, where I read the first chapter in this book and decided that I wanted to keep it. The writing, the old school writing, was a bit off-putting for me. It's not very readable in my opinion, but because I enjoy the story and its adaptations, I think I wanted to give the book a real shot. And I have the audiobook, so at least I have options on how I want to read this one. For those of you that don't know, Sherlock Holmes is a detective from England, London, and he's very smart, but also very awkward. Like he doesn't act the same way as other people. But anyway, I don't really know too much about it. I know Sherlock Holmes and his partner John Watson solve mysteries using his famous powers of deduction. So I'm excited to, actually I'm not too excited. I want to give this a shot. I'm apprehensive when it comes to this one. Whew, okay, 5 books down. I still have 5 more to go. Why am I getting a headache? Let's go. I've got 5 books down, 4 physical books, 1 ebook, and 2 of them are graphic novels / manga. So looking pretty good so far. I think I should go for pink one because this says LGBTQ plus. So I need to read a book with some LGBTQ plus rep. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish both volumes of Heartstopper, so I don't think I need to add those. I only have 1. Okay, I have 1 here. I could go with Loveless. Might go with that. Let me see if I have anything on my... I guess I'm going to go with Loveless by Alice Oseman since it's the only option I have right now. So this book follows Georgia, who doesn't understand why she doesn't feel like her other peers in high school who, you know, get crushes on people, and dating plus sex equals love, and she's working on discovering what her version of love is, since there is more than one. And it isn't until she gets to college that she discovers what the A means in LGBTQIA plus spectrum. So she comes to understand that she's asexual or aromantic. I guess it talks about her struggles and her journey of discovering that and what that means for her. So pretty excited about this one. Wow, it's so cute. I love the colors. I just want to look what I just want to see what it looks like on the inside. And you know, I'm still enjoying reading Heartstopper, so hopefully I'm going to enjoy Alice Oseman's actual novel. So there's that. Now let's see. Got 3 blue, 1 yellow, 1 pink. I think I'm gonna go for another blue. This one says double the pages of the last book I picked was Loveless, and it has, why are there no page numbers? Oh wait, there are. Okay, it has, you see that, 392 pages. So I gotta read a book that's like 800 pages. Really? Oh my god, I'm going to die. 800 pages. I think House of Sky and Breath is 800 pages. I think that's the only book that I have that has that many pages. Oh my god. Wait. I cannot do 2 giant clunkers in 1 month, otherwise it's gonna bleed into August. So House of Sky and Breath has 801 pages. Hope you can see that. So I'm going to use this book for that prompt. And then I'm going to pick another book for, what was that first prompt? A book with a magical creature. So I'm going to pick another book for a book with a magical creature. I'm really only considering 2 books here, either The Cruel Prince or Peter and the Secret of Rondoon. So Peter and the Secret of Rondoon obviously has fairies because it is a Peter Pan retelling. And The Cruel Prince has fae. So those are both magical creatures. I could go with either of those. I'm gonna go with The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Interesting how I'm using a book about fae to replace another book about fae. So for those of you that don't know about The Cruel Prince, this follows Jude, whose parents were murdered, and she gets, I don't know if she gets kidnapped or her and her sister get taken away to the Fae world, where they are basically the only humans there, and humans are frequently mistreated by the Fae. Now, I think one of the biggest, so humans get mistreated by the Fae, and Jude especially gets mistreated by the prince of this world. So hence the title, The Cruel Prince. So to win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. So I'm guessing this is going to be a hate to love romance. I hope it's not a bully romance, because I don't think I'm going to be a fan of those kinds of books. So hopefully I enjoyed this one. Honestly, I'm sorry that my description of The Cruel Prince wasn't that great. I still need to pick 2 more audiobooks. Let's see, what are my options here? Honestly, I haven't really been feeling my audiobooks recently. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 2 more to go. I keep picking all the new ones. Okay, this one says a book with royals. I really just picked The Cruel Prince. Seriously? Okay, a book with royals. You know what? I'm gonna be real. Another book that I didn't finish from my last TBR, American Royals by Catherine McGee. This book has been on multiple TBRs this year, and I never get to it. I don't know if I ever will. I keep adding it thinking, okay, you need to read this, you need to read this. But I don't. I really should just get to it. And also I need to round out my TBR a little bit because I'm getting pretty heavy with the fantasy here. Oh, anyway, sorry. American Royals follows the Washingtons, which are the fictional royals of America if George Washington had not given up a crown for a presidency. So this follows an alternate future where his descendants have been the royal family of the US for the last 2.5 centuries. Now it follows the young royals, so the heir, Princess Beatrice, the spare, Princess Samantha, the schemer, Daphne Dayton, and the commoner, Nina Gonzalez. So this follows the power, the drama, the intrigue, the crown. This is the story of the American royals. Now, I don't know why I haven't read this. I was very excited when I picked it up, but I don't know, I guess my interest has kind of dwindled since then. A book with illustrations. Okay. A book with illustrations. I know about a book that has illustrations, but I said I needed to pick an audiobook. How am I supposed to pick an audiobook of illustrations? Can you tell me that? I had 2 options that I was thinking of. I was either gonna go with Empire of the Vampire, which I reviewed on my last vlog, has illustrations in it. And the only other book here that I can think of is, well, no, House of Leaves doesn't have. But the other book is Peter and the Secret of Rondoon, which is a middle grade novel, a retelling of Peter Pan. And it has illustrations in it. So I guess if I need another young adult / middle grade, I will go with this one. This is another book that has been put on my TBR quite a few times and I never get to it, but you never know, I guess. I'm not feeling too good about only having 1 audiobook on my TBR for this month. That's not great, but I am feeling good about the options that I have on my for my actual TBR. Okay guys, so here it is. These are the 10 books that I will be reading in the month of July. Let's do a recap. So for a book of illustrations, I chose Peter and the Secret of Rondoon. For a book of royals, I chose American Royals by Catherine McGee. For a book with magical creatures, I chose The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. For a book with double the pages of the last book that I picked, I chose, oh, I rearranged it a little and chose House of Sky and Breath, which is going to be on my TBR for a second month because it's so huge. For a book with LGBTQ+ rep, I chose Loveless by Alice Oseman. For a book with a movie, TV show, or game adaptation, I chose The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. For my finish a series prompt, I chose Orange, To You Dear One. And for a spooky book, I chose How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. And finally, for my Has Another Species in the Story, I chose Sega Volume 3 by Brian K. Vaughan. And that's it, guys. So these are all the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of July. Let me know what books you guys have read, whether you like them or not. Which ones you guys think I should start with first. I don't know. I've never been able to get through a full TBR, but here's to hoping. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.